2030? Why does he hate Britain's pubs? And if he doesn't, why is he taxing them into extinction?
Yeah!
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Last week, I was talking to Jason, a pub landlord, and he told me he's heard a rumour about the Prime Minister. Not that one, not that one. He's heard that there is a reason why the Prime Minister hates Britain's pubs. Landlords like Jason are being battered by Labour's jobs tax and the slashing of small business rates relief, meaning that as many as half of Britain's pubs could be closed by 2030. Why does he hate Britain's pubs? And if he doesn't, why is he taxing them into extinction?
That man is not allowed in my pub. No, Laura. I'm not going to physically hurt him. That man... That's assault. I am not bothering you. I am not bothering him. That man is not allowed in my pub. Get out of my pub. Go on. Get out of my pub. Calm down. Sorry, thank you.
Bring David Cameron back, guys.
Didn't fall it. Guys, you can't have me in the car, please.
Yeah, come on in here, man.
Just listen to me. It's gone my way. Well, there's such long hospital. Completely overwhelmed with cases. They've been on the front line keeping people alive. So I really don't need lectures from you about this pandemic. You've got one.
Come on in. Can we come in? Is that okay?
We're not going to be raising tax on working people. So that means no increase in income tax, in national insurance and in VAT.
It's interesting, actually. I notice how he looks down all the way. So he's reading off a sheet which I hadn't picked up before. Oh, to have that bit of paper.
None of our plans require tax rises over and above the ones we've set out.
So you can say now there will not be an increase in council tax.
Look, Nick, what I'm not going to do is sit here...
Is not say that. That's what you're not going to do. We can see that clearly, it's Keir.
Every time you say, we're not going to raise VAT, we're not going to raise it, and everybody says, what about council tax? You say, well, I honestly can't. You know what people are thinking. You're a bright bloke. Council tax will go up.
Yeah. It was absolutely staggered there when I told him it was a bright bloke.
None of our plans require
will
a
it go
tax
up or
rise.
when to go up, Sir Keir?
None of our plans require a tax rise. No, Nick, because I do need to explain this.
I think you've had your time, respectfully.
And then he was off to a Taylor Swift concert, so he couldn't hang about.
This wasn't a gentle jab across the aisle. This was a searing, full-throttle political assault, and Starmer had nowhere to hide. Because here's reality. Under Keir Starmer's supposed leadership, the taverns that shaped Britain's work spirit are being crushed by soaring levies, slashed reliefs and cold-blooded apathy. Proprietors are abandoning them. Entrances are shutting, neighbourhoods are crumbling, and amidst all of it, a Labour chief who claims to cherish pubs while taxing them into oblivion. So, how will he answer these challenges? Will he evade, mislead, or fabricate once more? Let's see.
Mr. Speaker, nobody likes pubs better than me.
Last week I was speaking with Jason, a pub proprietor. This opening isn't mere pleasantries, it's charged with purpose. The MP presents Jason, a living, breathing symbol of Britain's battered middle class, a pub owner, not a hedge fund executive, not a city financier, simply a man who keeps his doors open, serves his neighbourhood, and pays his dues. And yet, he struggles by highlighting Jason. The MP bypasses all technocratic jargon that Labour hides behind. He speaks the dialect of the street, the bar counter, the everyday citizen. Why? Because betrayal isn't theoretical, it's personal. This isn't a think tank briefing or a Bloomberg story. It's the lived experience of millions of small business owners crushed under Labour's economic boot. And who is Keir Starmer in this tale? Not the protector of Jason, not the champion of the working class, but the very figure betraying him. Starmer no longer walks those avenues. He's too absorbed networking in Islington and rubbing elbows with financiers to notice the landlords were sustaining British life. This moment sets the tone. The Tory MP ignores macroeconomics. He delivers a moral indictment, and it strikes hard.
No, I came here to speak to this man, not your security. You have failed me.
Thank you.
I've been a Labour voter my entire life. You have failed to be the opposition. You have failed to ask whether lockdown was functioning.
Just behind. Can we just?
Do you understand?
Shall we go on in?
Thousands of people have died because you have failed to do your job and ask the real questions. Well, I am telling you now, and I hope this goes out, you have failed this country. You have seriously failed.
This is the line that sparks the fire, and it's no accident. It's crafted to provoke outrage, not only at a man, but But at an ideology. The claim that Starmer despises British pubs might sound extreme, yet look closer and you'll recognize the strategic brilliance behind it. This disdain is hardly new. Before moving forward, tell us, are you enjoying the video? If yes, please like, share and subscribe to our channel for more exclusive coverage of transformative shifts in British politics. Let's continue. Remember, pubs are not merely structures, they remain the last surviving community hubs in Britain. They host laughter, mourning, protests, debates, and grief spaces where life unfolds collectively, amid digitization, isolation, and corporate monopolies. The pub endures as sacred ground for the British spirit, so what occurs when Labour enforces taxes, raises insurance, and cuts business relief? It's not only poor economics, it's cultural destruction. The MP's message is unmistakable. Keir Starmer isn't simply neglecting pub protection. He is actively permitting, perhaps even promoting, their extinction. Why? Because pubs embody a Britain Starmer no longer embraces, Britain of community, patriotism, self-reliance, and face-to-face solidarity. Eliminating the pub erodes the working class's last bastion of unity. And that is precisely what Labour is executing under Starmer. Suppose half of all pubs vanish by 2030. That's not exaggeration. That's an obituary for British cultural life. Want to discuss austerity, inequality, or corporate overreach? This is ground zero, where working-class survival collides with political sabotage. And who's driving this agenda? Keir Starmer's Labour Party. A party that once stood alongside miners, dockers, and labourers, now abandons them under the guise of fiscal prudence. What a complete betrayal. Worse still, the hypocrisy. Starmer's faction claims to represent working people, yet instead of safeguarding the landlord, they defend the landlord's landlord, corporate estates, multinational breweries, consultants, and management firms. The jobs tax is especially insidious. It penalizes small employers for daring to hire staff. Imagine that punishing job creation amid an economic slump. Starmer treats working-class entrepreneurs like criminals, while granting big tech and big pharma a free pass. This isn't merely flawed policy. It's a calculated dismantling of local Britain, one levy at a time. But let's pause for a moment.
Mr. Speaker, I think last week I was overly rude, and I apologise.
It seems the only principle he consistently defends is whichever he last heard in a focus group. So I ask him, is there any belief he holds which survives a week in Downing Street?
Yes, the belief that she talks rubbish.
Given his recent tendency to dismiss the views of others, what would he say to his younger self?
Mr. Speaker, I think last week I was overly rude, and I apologise. I do respect the honourable member.
It was among the clearest pledges Keir Starmer ever made. We will not raise taxes on working families. He said it on camera. He said it to earn your vote. But then something unexpected occurred. He assumed power. And overnight, like a switch flipped in a Westminster backroom, everything shifted. The man who promised stability, honesty, and protection for ordinary households suddenly began doing exactly what he accused rivals of, pushing stealth tax increases, refusing to reverse national insurance hikes, and hiding behind fiscal terminology, while the poorest bore the burden. This isn't politics. This is fraud with a red rosette. Let's be clear, working-class Britain didn't vote for austerity 2.0. They didn't vote for energy bills that keep rising. They didn't vote for covert tax raids disguised as sound budgeting. And they didn't vote for a man who says one thing in opposition and does the complete opposite once the keys to number 10 are in his hands. So here's the question Starmer refuses to answer. Who exactly is he defending? Because it's not Jason, the pub landlord. It's not the nurse on night shifts crushed by bracket creep. It's not the small enterprise struggling to meet payroll amid soaring costs. They all got abandoned. But the lawyers, lobbyists, and global finance advisors on Labour's donor lists, they're thriving. Every decision Starmer makes, every levy he quietly preserves, every relief he conveniently ignores, reveals who he really is, a corporate-friendly centrist in socialist disguise, more at ease appeasing bankers than protecting builders. His notion of aiding working-class citizens is a press release. His definition of justice is silence. If this represents Labour and power, we must ask, did the working class elect a leader or a technocrat in a red tie who betrayed them the moment he glimpsed the Downing Street door? Once trust is broken this deeply, it cannot be restored. Slogans won't save him, optics won't shield him, and Britain's working people, they are watching and they won't forget. This is where the farce begins, Mr. Speaker. Nobody likes pubs better than me. Starmer opens with perhaps the most cringe-inducing deflection in modern politics. Nobody likes pubs better than me, really, based on what? Your publess legal career. Your glass of sparkling water on campaign stops. This is the classic politician's trick. Feign connection, pretend to care, recite the right line, and hope Nobody notices that policies contradict your words, but this time the public is paying attention. People are fed up with his duplicity. Let's be frank, if you oversee policies that render running a pub unviable, you don't love pubs. You love claiming to love pubs, which is entirely different. This line is a transparent spin, almost insulting. Starmer has no real connection to these neighborhoods, and worse, no intention of fostering one. He doesn't understand their challenges, and clearly doesn't care. And if they misinterpret him, what's his response? Instead of confronting them, he flees.
But, Mr. Speaker, it's the same old nonsense. They say they don't want the national insurance rise, but they don't have the courage to say they'd reverse it, because they know if they said that, they wouldn't be able to say where the money's coming from. That's how we got into the problem in the first place.
When confronted with tough questions about the collapse of Britain's pubs, about why small enterprises are taxed into ruin, and why working families can't catch a break, he cannot answer. He has no defense, no statistics, no plan. So what happens? He retreats to empty sentiment. He stares at the public and declares, "I love pubs," as if affection could cover costs, as if words could replace relief, as if expressing concern equaled governing with integrity. It's not leadership, it's political cowardice disguised as charm. And the British public, they're weary of being told they're cherished by the very man who is draining them. They see how he cannot commit to one stance for long, and he has demonstrated it repeatedly. Even in this brief disrespectful exchange, he validates her point without realizing it. Keir Starmer cannot maintain a single belief for more than a week. He shifts stances like wind through a revolving door. Today, he praises pubs. Tomorrow, he taxes them into oblivion. And that perfectly illustrates his so-called support for pub proprietors. 1 week it's photo opportunities and hollow compliments. Nobody loves pubs more than me. The next, it's tax increases, slashed reliefs, and complete silence while landlords close their doors for good. Projection is a potent drug. Starmer accuses others of lacking courage. This from the man who has reversed nearly every promise made to secure his position as Labour leader. Let's tally the betrayals. Tuition fees, abandoned. Rail nationalisation, scrapped. Free school meals, who cares? Green spending pledges, gutted. He campaigns as Jeremy Corbyn and governs as Blair's intern. This isn't mere rhetoric, it's proof that Starmer will uphold every harmful levy, but without taking responsibility. And what about the we that caused this crisis? Who's we? The Tories, the pandemic, the public? No, the real issue is clear. Starmer seeks power without accountability. He refuses to present a plan, refuses to commit, refuses to lead. He wants Britain to forget who he once was and trust a persona he feigns today. But the public isn't convinced anymore. And after this exchange, they'll remember. Keir Starmer doesn't defend pubs, he taxes them into oblivion, then toasts their memory at a Mayfair donor dinner. Shouldn't he at least admit that he despises pubs? And can anyone trust his words now? Share your thoughts in the comments. What should Starmer do to regain voter support? And is that even his goal? If you want more videos like this, please like, share, and subscribe for updates on British politics and the events shaping it. Until the next video, stay tuned.